The NBI arrests a man who allegedly helped spread the totoong narco-list videos. Malacañang says releasing the Oust-Duterte matrix to the public is a preemptive measure against conspiracy. Cebu Pacific denies allegations that flight cancellations are due to the absence of cabin crew members. UNTV drone footage reveals drying Angat Dam. And United Kingdom's Princess Charlotte celebrates 4th birthday with new photos, while Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are due to welcome their first child any day now. Good evening. The Department of Justice confirmed that they have arrested the man who allegedly helped circulate the now viral Bikoy videos that link the family of President Rodrigo Duterte in illegal drug trade. Mai Bermudez explains why.
A certain Rodel Jaime, tagged as one of the people who administers the website, sharing links of videos of alias Bikoy, who alleged that members of the Duterte clan are involved in illegal drug trade, underwent inquest proceedings earlier today. It was on April 17, 2019, when DOJ Secretary Menardo Guevara started a joint task force investigation to trace the people behind the alleged narco list. Based on initial findings, the website metrobalita.com is constantly sharing video links of the series of videos of alias Bikoy. Using an open source tool, his name, address, and cell phone numbers have been identified by authorities. It was on April 29 when they sought for a search warrant for computer data from the Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 148 under Judge Andres Soriano.
Judge Andres Soriano, you remember him? The judge in the rebellion case, Trillanes rebellion case, issued the warrant sought for against Rodel Jaime on the same date, April 29.
The next day, National Bureau of Investigation or NBI personnel went to Jaime's house.
Rodel Jaime was cooperative and surrendered his desktop computer and its peripherals, mobile phone, and Internet Service Provider or ISP billing statements, which are subject of the said warrant.
Jaime voluntarily went to the NBI to answer allegations against him. According to the NBI's initial findings, Jaime is the administrator of metrobalita.com and published Bikoy videos entitled Ang Totoong Narco List, which have proliferated in different websites. The DOJ, NBI, and CCD continue to conduct their investigations. Secretary Guevara said they are still figuring out the link between Bikoy and Jaime.
And it may turn out after further investigation that some other people, some special people who propagated the video or shared the video in a very vigorous manner may have to be investigated further, likewise.
Cyber libel and violation against women and children complaints are expected to be filed by NBI. Mai Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
In connection with that, the National Bureau of Investigation has filed an inciting to sedition complaint against a man who had allegedly spread the so-called Bikoy videos online. The NBI filed a complaint against Rodel Jaime before the Department of Justice following his arrest. NBI complaint accused Jaime of committing Article 142 inciting to sedition under the revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of Republic Act 10175, otherwise known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. Malacañang says releasing the Oust-Duterte matrix to the public is a preemptive measure against conspiracy. Rosa Dicos tells us why.
Malacañang stands firm it is unnecessary for the government to provide proof at this point on the alleged conspiracy shown in the so-called Oust-Duterte matrix. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said the supposed ouster plan cannot be considered a crime yet. The official believes that by releasing the matrix to the public, it would preempt whatever the anti-government are planning against the Duterte administration. The said matrix includes media practitioners and lawyers who allegedly plan to plant fake news, manipulate the public, connect with the leftist organizations, and eventually unseat President Rodrigo Duterte. The matrix also includes the video entitled Ang Totoong Narcolist, uploaded to the internet with a character on it named alias Bikoy.
That's precisely we inform the public and them.
But then, sabi nyo hindi
In other words, that's a preemptive move so that whatever plans they have, hindi na nila itutuloy.
The official also maintains that the information received by the president on the alleged ouster plot from a foreign source does not mean it had been obtained illegally. Meanwhile, the National Bureau of Investigation has not provided information to Malacañang on the arrested person of interest in the uploading of the Ang Totoong Narcolist video. The palace, for its part, has refused to comment about the matter.
They speculate, everybody's speculating. We'll just wait for the official report, and then the police or the NBI will have to do their duty.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Cebu Pacific management denies reports that hundreds of their crew members are because of the flight cancellations are due to the absence of their several cabin crew members. Joanano tells us why.
Issues on the lack of proper compensation and healthy work schedule have been the reason allegedly why several cabin crew members of the Cebu Pacific airline have resigned. This was revealed by a supposed senior Cebu Pacific employee who refuses to disclose his identity. In a Facebook Messenger conversation obtained by the UNTV news team, the said person has disclosed that several pilots and flight attendants have resigned from the airline company due to unhealthy work schedules as well as to look for a greener pasture. Reports also say that several flight attendants had also filed their maternity leave applications, prompting other personnel to work beyond their schedules. The same person claims this is the real reason why Cebu Pacific has cancelled around 100 domestic flights. But these are contrary to Cebu Pacific's first statement that defective aircraft and troubles with the airline company's network route have forced them to cancel some of their flights. Cebu PAC spokesperson Charo Lugarta Lagamon strongly denies the emerging allegations. In a message, Lagamon stated that the reports made by the media are anecdotes. She added they are currently looking into the matter. On the other hand, the Civil Aeronautics Board, along with other aviation officials, have begun their investigation on the issue. In a public post made by Raul Esperas, a member of the media and the president of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Press Corps, he stated that the Cebu Pacific Cabin Crew Union, which is composed of junior flight crew members, have met with the airline management today to tackle their labor concerns. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
An employers group sees no reason to consider at present the wage hike of workers in the National Capital Region. But some senators support any move of the government to study the salary hike of workers. Victor Cosare tells us why.
Several lawmakers in the upper house of Congress are open to discuss the wage hike recently proposed by labor groups. Among the proposals is that of the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, or TUCP, which filed a petition dated April 29, 2019 for a 710 peso per day across-the-board wage hike for workers in the National Capital Region, or NCR. The proposed 710 peso increase is on top of the 537 peso minimum wage in Metro Manila. According to Senator Sani Angara, if the oil prices in the world market continue to increase, the wage board should consider and study a possible wage hike. Senator Joel Villanueva proposes to look at the living wage of workers and that the current social and economic context in the country must be considered. This is also the opinion of Senator Coco Pimentel, who says he supports a just living wage for workers. While for Senator Panfilo Lacson, there are many factors to consider, so a thorough study on the wage hike is needed. On the other hand, the Employers Confederation of the Philippines, or ECOP, does not believe that the Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board will immediately take action on the petition for wage hike. According to ECOP President Sergio Ortiz Luis, there is a one-year bar rule before the board gets to act on a new petition. It can be noted that in November 2018, the Wage Board approved the 25 peso increase in salary of workers in the NCR. The ECO president explained that last year, the economic condition of the country was different during the time when the last wage hike was approved.
Look at it from what has happened in November. The what was approved was 25 pesos. And that was at the time when the inflation was very high. Rice, sugar, vegetables were all high. And the cost of fuel was going up. We didn't know where it will stop. These were all reversed already.
For now, Ortiz Luis does not see any reason to consider such new petition.
Bumaba na rice, bumaba na lahat. So wala kaming makitang reason na may supervening condition.
The TUCP cited nutritional deficiency among workers as the reason for their petition to hike the Metro Manila minimum wage. The labor group maintains that workers are still feeling the weight of high commodity prices since the implementation of the first package of the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion or TRAIN law last year. Victor Cosare, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
The water level in Angat Dam further declined to 177.95 meters on Thursday morning. A drone footage taken by the UNTV News and Rescue team on May 1 reveals the extent to which the water in the spillway was dried up as the hot weather in the Philippines continues. Another drone footage shows the difference in the levels of water in the dam from March 15, 2019 to May 1 of 2019. The 180-meter line marks the level at which water supply for irrigation may be reduced. Water supply for domestic use is limited when the water level reaches the 160-meter mark. Meanwhile, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAG-ASA said that the water level in Angat Dam may continue to drop to 173 meters by the end of May as rains are not expected to significantly replenish water in the reservoir right away. Britain's Princess Charlotte celebrates her 4th birthday on Thursday, and her parents released 3 new pictures of the smiling young royal to mark the occasion. Charlotte, daughter of Prince William and his wife Kate, was pictured in the gardens at Kensington Palace in central London and the family home in Norfolk, Eastern England. The photos of the fourth in line to the throne were taken by Kate, who regularly releases family pictures to celebrate her children's birthdays. It's a busy time for birthdays in the British royal family. Charlotte's younger brother Louis celebrated his first birthday 2 weeks ago, 2 days after the 93rd birthday of Queen Elizabeth, the world's oldest monarch. The birth of the first child of William's younger brother Harry and his wife Meghan is also expected any day now.
The Commission on Elections says the process of voting in the May 2019 elections may take longer due to a new voter verification system. Mai Bermudez explains why.
The voter registration verification system, or VRVS, will be put into test on May 13, the day of the 2019 local and national elections. The VRVS is a live scanning technology which allows every voter to be identified through fingerprints. The technology also shows details such as name, location, precinct number, and the voter's picture. And to ensure the integrity of the system, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, will conduct a pilot testing in different parts of the country. Before a ballot is given, an individual's fingerprints will be scanned to ensure he is a legitimate voter. But in case the fingerprints are not detected, a manual search will be done instead.
Isang ideal use ng VRVS, yung walang kaproblema, aabutin ka lang kulang-kulang 2 minuto. If you have problems with the VRVS, it can go up to as much as 10-15 minutes. Kasi magse-search ka pa, magve-verify ka pa. So dun siya tumatagal.
According to COMELEC spokesman James Jimenez, this will help get rid of the authorities' problems on the election day.
It will help eradicate flying voters, no? Because it will ensure that each person who votes is actually eligible to vote in that particular place. Kasi nandun yung pangalan niya sa list of voters.
But at this point, voters are clueless about the new system.
Kasi siyempre pagka-machine yun, syempre hindi naman lahat ng botante, di ba? Perfecto sa pag-ano nun. Syempre maraming tatanga-tanga rin.
Ay, hindi. Kasi bago ngayon yan, di ba? Karirinig ko lang. Fingerprint.
Papatagalin. Bisa makaboto ka na kaagad dito.
My Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The government warns political candidates who collude with rebel groups ahead of the May 2019 elections. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG say they will file charges against candidates who will be proved to be paying fees to the New People's Army or NPA with an aim to freely campaign in rebel-infested areas. DILG Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya said the number of local candidates who do such thing has gone down compared with that during the 2016 elections. He added that they are gathering enough evidence for the cases to be filed.
Merong kampo ng NPA na nalulusob, may mga documents na nakukuha doon. Di ba? Ito yung mga nakolektahan nila. So lalabas yan. And then, may red flag pa tayo. Yung sample ballots umikot doon sa areang yon.
A total of 195.5 million was accumulated by the CTP-NPA from their various extortion activities nationwide during the 2016 to 2018 polls.
Political candidates who will be found guilty of financing the NPA or paying for a permit to campaign to the rebel group might face charges like the violation of Republic Act 10168 or the Terrorism Financing Prevention and Suspension Act of 2012. According to Yusek Malaya, they have received reports of the said activities from the Cordilleras, Quezon, Bicol, Eastern Visayas, and Eastern Mindanao. Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police have prepared 160,000 personnel to maintain peace and order in the upcoming elections. Ray Pelayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Experts urge the Philippine government to boost cybersecurity in the country amid its various partnerships with other countries in terms of telecommunications. Cybersecurity experts also advise the public on how to protect personal electronic devices from espionage. April Senatoza will tell us why.
Several controversies have lately been hounding Chinese telecommunications firm Huawei in various countries. With this, some information technology experts in the country are urging the government to boost cybersecurity in the Philippines. Lito Averia Jr., an IT expert, also warns the public on logging onto websites which are not secured.
Checking websites of government agencies, we find na a lot of them are not secure. Pinakasimple na lang, the simplest indication is that they're not using HTTPS. Their connections are not secure.
Meanwhile, Rosel Rig, the CEO and president of GK College of Business, Arts and Technology Incorporated, stresses that cybersecurity initiatives must be boosted at all times.
Lahat ng tao na nasa internet or naka-internet, kahit bata, matanda, may trabaho, wala, very delicate ngayon and very risky yung pagko-connect mo online. So, yun pa lang, kailangan na ng cybersecurity safeguards, no?
Recent reports say that the Chinese government is allegedly using Huawei products for surveillance activities. The U.S. State Department has claimed Huawei is giving vital information to the Chinese government clients. On this, Averia says the Philippine government needs to vet agreements with China as well as with other countries on telecommunication. The computer security experts say China is capable of producing devices that can steal sensitive information and become listening devices since most smartphones in the Philippines are manufactured in China.
They're capable. There's a lot of Chinese products now going around the market. No? A lot of the phones are made in China. A lot of the appliances or devices used in the internet, routers for example, no, are made in China.
Rig, meanwhile, admits that only a small number of Filipinos know the security features of their phones, while Averia advises the public on how to protect their personal electronic devices against espionage. He said among the simple ways include installation of antivirus software and alteration of passwords. Avoid sending sensitive information via the internet because the security of websites must be verified first. Do not keep personal information in one's personal devices, he added. As much as possible, avoid connecting to public Wi-Fi.
If you're using a laptop or a tablet, you'd probably need to install anti-malware software, antivirus software to keep your device protected. You have to implement passwords, and you have to change those passwords every so often.
Huawei is the supplier of hardware of several telecommunication companies in the Philippines. April Senedoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Mandaluyong.
The Department of Foreign Affairs has earlier warned the Department of Information and Communications Technology and other security agencies that some countries have implemented a ban on the use of Huawei products. Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police say they are investigating the issue. Nina Armilio will tell us why.
A letter from the Department of Foreign Affairs, Office of the European Affairs, dated January 25, 2019, states information that the Czech government and France have announced a ban on the use of Huawei and ZTE devices due to security concerns. The letter says the ban was prompted in the Czech Republic that Huawei devices may be used to damage national interests, while the French government is concerned that China could spy on countries where it has a network presence due to potential backdoors in Huawei's code. This information has prompted the Philippine National Police or PNP to investigate the issue.
Patuloy ang investigasyon na sinasagawa ng Philippine National Police doon sa mga impormasyon na natatanggap natin na di umano ay may mga ganong aligasyon ng espionage, spying sa paggamit ng kanilang mga produkto. Pero sa ngayon, wala pa namang validated na information tayong natatanggap. So, patungkol dyan sa Huawei na yan.
Meanwhile, according to PNP IT Officer Police Lieutenant Denicio Icban III, service providers can access data in one's mobile phone.
Telcos po yung service providers natin. For example, pag gumagamit tayo ng cellphone, naka-on yung data natin. So yung gateway na dinadaanan ng internet natin is sa telco. So yung traffic na dumadaan sa kanila, meron silang monitoring.
The PNP reminds the public to know a mobile application thoroughly before downloading it into one's phone to prevent giving access to one's personal information. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
The Department of Health launches today the National Center for Mental Health Crisis hotline in accordance with the implementing rules and regulations of the Mental Health Act. Aiko Miguel tells us why.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death among people from 29 to 59 years old around the world, based on a World Health Organization report. And to assure the prevention of suicide and other mental health problems in the country, the Department of Health or DOH formally launched today the National Center for Mental Health Crisis Hotline or NCMH Hotline.
Mental illness is a major public health issue that needs to be openly discussed and addressed. According to the World Health Organization, close to 800,000 people die from suicide each year. And we must create avenues to draw those with mental health issues out of the dark and listen to their call for help.
The hotline launch is in accordance with the implementation of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of the Mental Health Act, signed by President Rodrigo Duterte on June 20, 2018. The National Center for Mental Health Crisis Hotline, that is free and open round the clock, has a wider scope as it also aims to solve other mental health issues aside from suicidal attempts. Other mental health issues include substance or drug abuse, physical abuse, school and career issues, and other depressing situations. If there is a feeling of deep sadness, extreme mood swings, change in appetite or sleeping habits, irritability, and attempts to commit suicide, one should call the hotline numbers 0917-899-8727 or 989-8727.
Depression, anxiety,
and of course yung suicide to have an increase, especially with the increased awareness. Yun ang mga ina-expect namin mga tawag. However, we will not be limiting our conversation with this subset of patients or people.
The hotline will be administered by the DOH together with other government agencies like the Department of the Interior and Local Government, the Department of Labor and Employment, Department of Education, and the Commission on Human Rights. Two responders on duty are ready to receive calls through the NCMH hotline.
We have the Department of Education, may specific task yan sa law. Yung DOLE is very important because we need to have mental health in the workplace. Tapos yung Commission on Human Rights because we are looking at mental health not only as a disease na mental model na kailangan nila ng tulong. We are also looking at the rights based.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Mandaluyong City.
Teams challenged for charity on Wednesday by pulling a Boeing 757 for a short distance dash. Jovic Bermas will tell us why.
For the 5th year in a row, groups of at least 20 members rolled up their sleeves and beat the clock to record the fastest time as they pull a DHL Express Boeing 757-200 for a distance of 20 meters, according to country manager Charles Chivon. The various groups trained to pull the aircraft using ropes on the tarmac of Safi Aviation Park and cheered for their Herculean task.
Yeah, it is. The aircraft weight is about 60 tons. Consider that it can be pulled off. Then we put also an element of competition by timing each pull. How many seconds or minutes it will take for each group.
The competition started in 2015. Each member of the teams was asked to pay a 15 euros donation or $16.84 in aid of Patino Cares, a non-profit cancer support group that helps families with children suffering from cancer. Jovic Bermas, UNTV News and Rescue.
And to complete the most significant news for the day, Y News continues. Here are the top stories. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, continues to study the cause of a death of fish in Zamboanga City. The agency says one of the possible reasons is the effects of the El Nino phenomenon. Gladys Tawabi will tell us why.
Dead fish were found floating on the beach side of Kawa-Kawa Boulevard, Zamboanga City yesterday. According to the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR Region 9, they found an estimate of more than 1,000 fish. BFAR took some samples to study and identify the cause of the fish kill. One of the possible reasons they are looking at is the extreme heat caused by El Nino.
During summer like this, mangyari talaga. We call it the phenomenon, locally termed it, palut. Ang usually namamatay isda ay itong mga big fishes. Yung mga danggit, butete, lapu-lapu, namamatay siya because ang init ng dagat, yung water surface temperature, pagbiyan ng mga 34, 36, hindi na mag-thrive ang isda.
BFAR Region 9 is also investigating the possibility of poisoning.
May mga planta kasi tayo dito sa may bandang West Coast. Hindi ko sinasabi nag-ano sila, ano lang namin baka may nagtapon ng mga chemical na talagang toxic sa mga siganit, yung danggit na yan.
This is the first time that a huge number of fish died in Zamboanga City. Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
And for the news abroad, Gavin Williamson has strenuously denied he leaked information from the National Security Council as calls are being made for a police inquiry. He was sacked as Defense Secretary for allegedly disclosing plans to allow Chinese telecoms giant Huawei to help build the UK's 5G network. Opposition MPs said there should be an investigation into whether the Official Secrets Act had been breached. Downing Street said it had compelling evidence and the matter was closed. Williamson is quoted in several of Thursday's newspapers as saying he was the victim of a vendetta and a kangaroo court. In an interview, he said he was not responsible for the said leak. U.S. Attorney General William Barr has refused to testify to the Democratic-led House Judiciary Committee on his handling of the Russia inquiry. Barr had previously objected to a plan for lawyers to ask questions at Thursday's hearing. Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler accused the White House of a complete stonewalling of Congress. The standoff raises the prospect that Barr, America's top legal official, could be held in contempt of Congress. The Justice Department also said it would not comply with a subpoena issued by Nadler asking for an unreacted version of Mueller's report as well as files from the investigation. The Venezuelan government has managed to keep order in the capital, Caracas, despite an attempted coup against President Nicolas Maduro. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Reinforced military police patrol in some major areas in the capital, Caracas, has managed to keep social order stable after frustrating an attempted coup early on Tuesday. Violent clashes erupted across Venezuela on the day after the opposition leader Juan Guaido, who proclaimed himself interim president of Venezuela in January, launched what he described as a military-backed challenge to President Nicolas Maduro, summoning thousands of people to streets to demonstrate against the socialist leader. Venezuelan Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez said security forces had defeated the attempted coup. Some airlines temporarily canceled flights to Caracas on Wednesday, fearing a new round of protests and violence against the government by the opposition. But many international flights still arrived at the city on the day, and the operations at the Caracas Simon Bolivar International Airport were normal. The streets of Caracas are filled with heavily armed military police. The major local newspapers carried a full-page story about the Maduro administration foiling mini-coup and the international condemnation of the opposition's efforts to aggravate tensions. Local residents said that incited by some foreign forces, the opposition is constantly making chaos at home, which is not conducive to solving the current problem.
All these conflicts had overseas funding. Most of the Venezuelan people are eager for peace, so they should solve the problem through dialogue.
Rosalie Cos, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Britain's parliament approved a symbolic motion to declare an environment and climate emergency. Meanwhile, the King of Thailand marries his personal bodyguard before his official coronation. Jovic Burmas will tell us why.
In Thailand, the King of Thailand has married the deputy head of his personal security detail and given her the title of Queen, a royal statement said. The surprise announcement comes before his elaborate coronation ceremonies begin on Saturday, when his position is consecrated. King Maha Vajiralongkorn, 66, became the constitutional monarch after the death of his much-loved father in 2016. He has been married and divorced 3 times before and has 7 children. In the United Kingdom, WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange was sentenced to 50 weeks in jail in London, the United Kingdom, on Wednesday for breaching bail conditions. Assange was sentenced for breaching his bail by entering the Ecuadorian embassy 7 years ago. Ahead of his sentencing at Southwark Crown Court in South London, Assange apologized for skipping bail in a letter read by attorney Mark Summers. Assange sought asylum in the Ecuadorian embassy in June 2012 to avoid extradition to Sweden, where he was wanted for questioning over rape and sexual assault allegations. Meanwhile, Britain's parliament declared a symbolic climate change emergency on Wednesday, backing a call by opposition Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn for rapid and dramatic action to protect the environment for generations to come.
We are witnessing an unprecedented upsurge of climate activism, with groups like Extinction Rebellion forcing the politicians in this building to listen. For all the dismissive and defensive column inches the protesters have provoked, they are a massive and, I believe, very necessary wake-up call. Today, we have the opportunity to say, we hear you.
The measure was passed as an opposition motion using a procedure typically ignored by the ruling party and has no direct consequences for policy. But it represents a nod to an increasing vocal activist movement, particularly among young people, who have staged school strikes and civil disobedience campaigns to demand action. Activists from the group Extinction Rebellion launched 11 days of protests that paralyzed central London in recent weeks, and Swedish schoolgirl campaigner Greta Thunberg addressed lawmakers on a high-profile visit. Jovic Burmas, UNTV News and Rescue.
Olympic 800-meter champion Castor Semenya and other athletes with differences in sexual development, or DSDS, would have to start taking medication to lower their testosterone levels within 1 week to compete at the World Championships. Beverly Saison explains why.
Castor Semenya has lost a landmark case against athletics governing body, meaning it will be allowed to restrict testosterone levels in female runners. The Court of Arbitration for Sports, or CAS, ruled the regulations were necessary for athletes with differences in sexual development, or DSDS, to ensure fair competition. But it also voiced concern about how the new rules, which cover events ranging from 400 meters to a mile, would be implemented by the International Association of Athletics Federation, the sport's governing body.
It may well be that when the DSD regulations of the IAAF will be enforced, that other athletes may want to challenge these rules because of their own specific biological profile. So we cannot exclude that another case similar to this case of Ms. Semenya would come to the CAS later.
Testosterone increases muscle mass, strength, and hemoglobin, which affects endurance. Some competitors have said Semenya's higher levels of the hormone give her an unfair advantage. Semenya and other athletes with DSD hoping to compete at the World Championships in September would have to start taking medication to lower their testosterone levels within a week. CAS Secretary General Matthew Reeb admitted the ruling was not perfect and questioned the existence of a perfect solution. The International Association of Athletics Federation could have created a third category for athletes like Semenya, but decided to keep women in one classification.
She will have to take some medication to be able to go below this testosterone level. There is a threshold in the rules. This threshold may still be changed, still be adapted by the IAAF. This is something that they have to decide, but it's true for these athletes like Ms. Semenya, they will have some medical consequences, which is the taking of contraceptives.
Semenya has said she does not wish to undergo medical intervention to change who she is and how she was born, and wants to compete naturally. The South African will be the most high-profile athlete to be affected, but others include 2018 Olympic silver medalist in the 800 meters Francine Niyonsaba of Burundi. Beverly Saison, UNTV News and Rescue.
Young boys and girls on a Bangladeshi coast take up a new sport. Ashur Kadapan Jr. will tell us why.
On the long sandy beaches of Cox's Bazar, a new sport has caught on among the locals, and it has nothing to do with cricket. Despite being known in recent years for its influx of hundreds of thousands of Rohingya migrants fleeing violence in Myanmar, the beach town is a popular tourist hotspot in the country and has gradually turned into one of the Indian subcontinent's prime surfing locations.
So we came here 15 years ago and there was one surfer named Jafar Alam. And so we were able to teach and to train all these young boys and these young girls. They all learned English, and now look at them. They're amazing citizens and they're amazing athletes and they're heroes here in Bangladesh. So we're really excited to one day see all these boys and girls participate in the Olympics.
Power, now known in the area as the surfing guru and founder of the Hawaii-based non-profit Surfing the Nations, has visited the town's beaches several times since, bringing Alam surfboards, funding, and a good spirit, all to help encourage local boys and girls to learn to surf.
I'm a surfer. I am feeling good that I'm participating in this competition, and our teachers who are teaching us surfing are inspiring us, so I am happy.
We were not familiar with surfing before. I was involved in a small business here at the beach, selling eggs when I saw Rashid Bai, who taught me how to surf. From there, my surfing life started, and I am no longer selling eggs. Now I am studying in a school. I am a student of class 10.
There are now a number of surfing clubs along the coast whose members have been able to test their skills in the water for the past 5 years in an annual competition held at the end of April. Keen surfers can enjoy the best waves off the coast of Cox's Bazar during the April to November season, according to travel guide Lonely Planet. Asher Gadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue.
The annual spawning ritual of the normally elusive deep-sea creatures near the coast of Japan attracts the attention of fishers and scientists. Kath Dumaraos will tell us why.
Every April, the coastline of Toyama Bay, of 12 kilometers long, is illuminated by dazzling blue light emitted from tens of thousands of firefly squids. The firefly squid, or Watasinia scintillans, is only about 7 centimeters long, covered with luminous organs. They stay in the dark waters during the day and float to the sea surface for food or spawn at night. The local fishermen go fishing early in the morning, and large flocks of firefly squids would get caught when the fishermen take in the nets. So to watch the catch of firefly squids aboard has become a local tourist attraction. This is also the peak season for various seafood markets at the port of Toyama Bay. Almost every restaurant is putting up a special menu of firefly squid dishes. The most common one is sashimi. And it is also possible to dip the whole squid into boiling water, then dress it in some special seasonings. Another way to consume it is to wrap the squid in flour and egg liquid and to fry it into golden yellow tempura.
Although it tastes refreshing, it has a very mellow and squid flavor. This is my first try of firefly squid, and it is impossible to enjoy such fresh ones without coming here.
The average annual catch of firefly squids in Toyama is about 1,000 tons. Meanwhile, a Hotaruwika museum was built to attract tourists close to firefly squids, which has also brought huge economic benefits to the local area.
Beyond the food material, we attach more importance to the promotion of fiery squids as a tourism resource, especially the brand Toyama Fiery Squids. So at the mentioning of fiery squids, many people would think of Toyama.
Firefly squids only live for a year. After making babies, they die. Why the firefly squid glows is not precisely known. Theories range from attracting mates to deterring predators. Kat Dumaraos, UNTV News and Rescue.
Meanwhile, a survey conducted by online content creator Big 7 Travel reveals Filipinos have the sexiest accent in Asia and the 21st in the world. Mon Hock Son explains why.
There are 50 twangs in the world with the sexiest accent according to a survey conducted by Big 7 Travel, who according to its website is the go-to resource for over 1.5 million people when it comes to discovering new destinations. Based on the survey, the Thai language ranks 48. This twang is usually tonal, but not usually sexy, according to Big 7 Travel readers.
สวัสดีค่ะนะคะสำหรับดิฉันมาจากประเทศไทยค่ะสำหรับสำเนียงภาษาอังกฤษนะคะที่ได้จัดอันดับไว้ว่าสำเนียงภาษาอังกฤษของคนไทย
Pakistani is in the 47th place. It is often mistaken for Indian. The Pakistani accent isn't usually popular in the poll.
Hi, I'm from Pakistan and we rank 47th in the sexiest accent in the world.
The New York accent is in the 44th place. It is fast and hyper-nasal, yet quite charming at times.
We're number 44 for the sexiest accent in the world.
Standard Chinese is full of varied tones and quite soft. It places 43rd in the survey.
My name is Amber. We rank the 43rd
sexiest accent in the world.
The Malaysian accent, which is in the 39th place, is becoming increasingly Americanized.
Hi, my name is Ahmad and we are ranked 39 in the sexiest accent in the world.
The Indian accent ranks 26, with an attractive accent tilt. Indian is fast and easy in the ears.
I'm an Indian and we rank 26th in the sexiest accent in the world.
Vietnamese, which is in the 25th place, is a tonal language, so the accent goes up and down.
I am Vietnamese and we ranked 25th in the sexy accent in the world.
The Filipino twang is in the 21st place. It is gentle and soft. The accent one hears when in the Philippines is simply lovely.
I am Filipino and we rank sexiest accent in Asia and 21st in the world.
Not to be mistaken for American. Canadians speak with subtle vowels and lots of A's. They are in the 30th place.
I'm Canadian and we're ranked 13th sexiest accent in the world.
Clear, clipped, and completely posh. Queen's English is in the 12th place.
I'm British and we rank the 12th in the top 50 sexiest accents in the world.
The Brazilian Portuguese is in the 10th place. Brazilians have quite a strong accent, with Italian influences, adding extra attractiveness to the accent.
I'm Brazilian from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and we rank the 10th in the sexiest accent in the world.
Who can resist a slow Texan drawl? The South USA twang ranks 9th.
Hi y'all, I'm Brinalise Walker and I'm originally from East Texas, but I live here in Round Rock. Apparently the Texas accent is the 9th sexiest in the world.
The Spanish twang is in the 8th place, which is incredibly fast and fluid. The Spanish accent never fails to make you weak in the knees.
Soy español y somos el octavo acento más sexy de los 50 del mundo.
The French accent is in the 7th place. It is said to be the language of love and is a consistent winner when it comes to sex appeal.
I'm French and we rank 7th in the sexiest accent in the world.
Pronouncing words long and slow, and often skipping the ends of them completely. Australian twang, which is in the 5th place, is a real turn-on apparently.
Yeah, I think it's probably because we all speak differently because we come from different countries.
Completely beautiful. Any word in the Italian sounds sexy. It places 3rd in the survey.
Hello, I'm Italian and we were 4th accent in the world. Charlotte.
The Irish twang is in the 3rd place. People the world over love the Irish accent.
I'm Irish and we ranked 3rd in the sexiest accents in the world.
To a novice ear, the New Zealand accent might sound just like the Australian accent. But Big 7 travel readers disagree. The New Zealand dialect is outrageously charming. The sexiest accent in the world. It's official.
Hi, my name is Ben and I'm a New Zealand citizen. I think we have the best accent in the world.
But did you know that despite the Filipino accent being in the 21st place, it is the sexiest accent in Asia, toppling the Japanese, which ranks 42nd, and the Malaysian twang, which places 39th. This is the reason why.
I am Filipino and we rank sexiest accent in Asia and 21st in the world. Bonga!
I am Filipino and we rank sexiest accent in Asia and 21st in the world. Pak!
We are Filipino and we rank sexiest accent in Asia and 21st in the world. Charot!
I am a Filipino and we rank 60th accent in Asia, 21st in the world. I love you.
See, it is clear that other countries love the Philippines because many Filipinos can speak English fluently, even if it is Carabao English. This is the proof.
Bukas luluhod ang mga tala. Tomorrow the stars will kneel.
Ulit, akala mo lang wala, pero meron.
It's empty, but there is.
These are proof why foreigners enjoy speaking with Filipinos, who are never hard to love and be friends with. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
And those are the reasons behind the news this May 2nd, 2019. On behalf of Rina Villamor Camara and Angelo Castro III, I am William Theo, and before we close, we will recap with today's significant sound bites. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.
Rodel Jaime was cooperative and surrendered his desktop computer and its peripherals, mobile phone, and internet service provider or ISP billing statements, which are subject of the said warrant.
That's precisely we inform the public and them.
But then, sabi nyo hindi...
In other words, that's a preemptive move so that whatever plans they had, hindi na nila itutuloy.
A total of 195.5 million was accumulated by the CPP-NPA from their various extortion activities nationwide during the 2016 to 2018 polls.
Telcos po yung service providers natin. For example, pag gumagamit tayo ng cellphone, naka-on yung data natin. So yung gateway na dinadaanan ng internet natin is sa telco. So yung traffic na dumadaan sa kanila, meron silang monitoring.